time of year like for you, and how's it been working with some of the rookies and Allen Robinson?
It's been a lot of fun. Get back out here. Granted, we had a shorter break than we usually do, but I'm not complaining about that. It's nice to be back out here with the guys, going back over our stuff, and it's fun. I think the biggest thing, seeing the growth even. As you take, we talk about all the time, you don't want to be stagnant with anything you're doing. As an offense, defense, special teams, everything's about improving. And so there's learning. There's like never getting bored with learning new things within our offense. How can we just be that much more efficient, that much better? The new guys we have coming in and working with A-Rob's been incredible. Just his mental aptitude of what he's able to grasp already, and just being able to dialogue with him and how he sees the game has been really fun. And then great group of rookies that have come in, guys that want to learn, want to be a part of this thing, and it makes it a really fun environment to come in to work every day.
What have you learned mostly about yourself? You guys said you're learning more about this offense. It seems like you hear like all the time. So what have you been able to accumulate and be able to kind of gauge yourself and kind of rate yourself to be better this coming season?
Yeah, well, I think there's lots of things. It's all in the details. It's such small, little, minute details that make a difference. And we're talking about a yard in terms of your landmarks on certain route concepts. Your attack angle coming off the line of scrimmage on certain things. Understanding, hey, we've always attacked leverage in this way on certain concepts, and maybe that's not the best way to go about it. Maybe we've just made that work over the years. And so just being able to find those places, being critical of things that I'm saying, just because something has been working doesn't mean it's at the best that it can be yet, while also understanding that there's a lot of stuff that we didn't do well that we can do a lot better at. Some of our stuff in the run game in terms of the angles that we're coming off at. As a receiver, too. The receivers are involved in the run game in this offense. So, how can we be that much better, that much more physical, and, that much more on point with things that, adapted during the middle of last season that we can now in the off season build on and be, get that many more reps at.
Cooper, Matthew was saying he's still trying to master the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I found that a little surprising. What do you see from him in this offseason where he's still trying to master the offense?
Yeah, well, I've been in this offense going on 6 years now. I'm still trying to master the offense. So, that's the great thing that we've got here. It's a continual, it's a growing thing. It's something that we get to, grow in together. And I'm very lucky because I've been able to grow in this thing for the last 5 years, 6 years to where it is now. But there is something where Matthew's coming in where this thing has adapted and grown to this point that it's at, and finding all those nuances, all those little things. And then as a quarterback, I can't even imagine all the things that are going through a quarterback's mind. How much quicker you can get from point A to point B to point Z, in the course of a snap. I think that's something that for him is just getting faster and faster as he kind of looks through these things. Just his ability to mentally be able to take reps and see the field with the way that he does. So we just keep getting better, and I'm excited about it because when you've got a quarterback that processes as quickly as he does and then can do the things when it's time to pull the trigger, that can put the ball where he wants to, it's going to be a pretty special thing.
Allen Robinson said that he kind of, and I'm paraphrasing, he kind of went into like hermit mode a little bit after moving here, just immersing himself fully in football and in what this offense is. Do you take a little bit of an appreciation from that, just getting to know him and learning not just who he is but how he works?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's been really cool to see. Like I said, his football aptitude is incredible, but his willingness to spend the time here and learning this thing, because he doesn't want to just know the offense. He wants to understand the offense. There's a difference between knowing what to do and then knowing how to do it. And he wants to know how to do it and how to do it as efficiently as possible, as effectively as possible. And so I've got a great appreciation for that. And it's you get guys out here and walk through that feel like my job is, hey, on a hitch route I just need to run a hitch. But for A-Rob, it's understanding all the nuance about it. It's not just about executing my assignment. It's about doing it exactly how it needs to be done, up to our standard and what we're about, and giving our offense the best chance to succeed. So I got a lot of appreciation for that.
Is he different on the field or off the field from the many other wide receivers you've played in your 5 or 6 years?
No, I don't know. Everyone's a little different. Everyone plays. In terms of how he plays the game or mentally.
Yeah, both.
Both. So, I think the cool thing watching, A-Rob's tape, he's a lot bigger than I think people think that he is. And he's a big dude that can do a lot of things that smaller receivers do. He's got great feet. Can put his foot in the ground, run kind of the underneath routes, do the options, the choice routes, all the different stuff that we do in this offense. He's going to be able to do all that stuff. So I'm excited about being able to have someone like that can do those things and just be a big body, big target. And mentally, I'm excited to see what he's like when you hit the field. We talk about all the time with Robert Woods was a different guy. When you just had him here talking versus when you had him on game day. When Bobby Trees came alive, and so I'm excited to see what A-Rob's like when it's showtime.
He mentioned last week that you guys have very specific and detailed conversations, even when you're running routes against air, in terms of how to attack, leverages, DBs use, route concepts, things like that.
Yeah.
What's that process been like, and how has it evolved as far as when you guys have those?
Yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, like I said, he wants to understand that stuff. He wants to know how to do those things. And I talked on the little differences in terms of how you're attacking people with different angles and stuff like that coming off the ball. Those little details. This game, a lot of people think we come in here and you just play football for 12 hours and you go home. But we might spend in a day, we might spend 2 hours on the field, but we might spend 10 hours meeting and going over, watching film, studying. It's a lot different than I think people expect, because there's so much detail that goes into it, and so many things that just find the slight edge. We talk about it here. Find the slight edge. The slight edge is in those conversations. It's in those little conversations that happen between your reps. Being able to dial in things that might allow you to process things that much quicker. Might be able to give you that 1 foot of separation that you need. Those conversations, that little stuff where we're able to collaborate together, find a way to do things at the best way that we do as Rams to give this offense a chance to go. That's what's special about this place. So.
And then you mentioned studying his tape. I don't know if you were talking about just in general, or did you actually pull it up on the system you guys use after he signed and figure out how he might fit and how you can work with it?
Yeah, well, I've actually watched A-Rob for a while now. What he's been able to do over in Chicago and before in Jacksonville. One of the best competitive catch players. I think that's what he's probably known for, is just his ability to go up, make plays over people, and make those plays. But on the other side of things, his ability to work the middle of the field, to work guys in man-to-man, put his foot on the ground, his releases, what he's able to do at the top of routes and different things like that. He's much more nuanced than I think he's probably known for, and I'm really excited for him to be able in this offense to be able to kind of put that stuff to use.
You mentioned.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I went first last time. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what have you seen in terms of growth, in terms of Tutu Atwell from last year to where he is now?
Yeah, well, it's been fun. I've been up here when I was working on the off season, and Tutu was in here with me. So it's been fun to be able to kind of, go through that and just what it's like in the off season to work towards something new. And obviously, I think he'd be the first to tell you last year wasn't what he wanted his rookie season to be. He's excited about being able to come out here and do some good things in year 2 and just let it all hang out. Let his game kind of speak for itself. He's a special player. He can do some pretty incredible things on the football field, and I'm excited about seeing him out here in OTAs and in training camp, just seeing some of that stuff come to life, because he's been working very hard and rehab, but also just building himself up and studying the playbook, all the stuff that he needs to do to make sure when he steps on the field he can just play his game.
Cooper, you mentioned the excitement of working with Allen on the field and Matthew on the field and where their games might go. When you're exchanging ideas with Sean and concepts, is there an excitement in that, where he might take the offense, or is that just kind of the daily grind of work?
Yeah, well, I do. I love that. We talk about collaboration all the time. The thing I appreciate is no matter how crazy the idea is, you can go in right up on Sean's wall and and he'll tell you that's a stupid idea, it's a dumb idea. But he also wants to work through things. If he sees something in there that he likes, he wants to work through that and find some ways that we can implement things. If it fits within the identity of what we're about as a football team, if it brings to life the strengths of the players that we have on our team, then he's all about it. So I've always appreciated that about Sean, and it's fun, when the guys in the mornings get together and we're watching film and able to see things, especially during the season when you're really game planning for specific looks, specific teams, seeing something and kind of getting that look like, oh, I think we might have something here. And there's the little collaboration on the side, and then okay, let's go present this thing and see what happens. It's a fun thing. It's fun. We have a lot of fun with that, and like I said, I appreciate Sean being willing to hear us out on all that stuff.
You really had a stupid idea?
A couple more guys.
In his eyes, I don't know if they were stupid in my eyes. I don't know. But no, I can't go into it. I can't go into all this stuff, because I'm still working on some stuff that's gotten shot down. I'm tweaking, bringing it back to the table. So you might see it come alive this year.
Hey Cooper, there's a really young, really competitive group of DBs here, and they're getting a chance to rotate in against some of the top receivers. Obviously, things are on air and it's not really live ball yet, but has anyone stuck out to you yet in that regard?
Man, I think it's a little too early to really tell. I mean, there are so many new guys, a lot of competition, a lot of guys that, I've seen some good stuff from guys, but across the way, I know, Cooley, Rob, the guys over on that side of the ball, Shula and the guys running things, they're gonna have them dialed in. So I know that. They're really loud right now, which is how it kind of standard operating procedure for OTAs. They're a lot louder than the receivers are. But as Liarb said, we talk silent, we carry a big stick. So we'll see as we get into competition how that all plays out.
What's it been like the last couple months walking around town, knowing you're the Super Bowl MVP? Are you breathing differently? How's that going?
No, it's pretty standard. Bedtime's about 9 o'clock. Get the boys down around 6:30 or 7 after bath time. It's pretty normal. We I went to a football game with buddies. Kids were playing games, and I wanted to just go watch the games, and that wasn't a great idea. Just in terms of that was the difference. Like, that's been a little different, but no, it's the same. It's the same life. Good.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.